First is roll call, and we are joined by Councilmember Martinez, Councilmember Shiltz, Mayor Pro Tem McFerren, and Councilmember Parizek. Councilmember Dominguez found out Sunday that there was a banquet for her daughter's sports, and so she's excused for tonight. So first item of agenda is approval of, the first item is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. And we'll go to item number 3, approval of the consent agenda, which is the city council minutes from the 4th of February, 2025. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We will move to item number 4, approval of beer and liquor licenses. First is 4A, a 12-month Class C retail alcohol license for Plymouth Nightclub LLC. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
There have been any issues?
No, they've been selling some beer last year.
Thank you.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We will go to 4B, 12-month Class C retail alcohol license for Muscatine County Fair. And is there a question about whether there's been any incidences?
Yeah, has there been?
There have been no incidences.
Okay.
Is there further discussion? All in favor signify by saying. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. So that was for the activity center. We go to 4C, a 12-month for the Midway Pavilion. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We go to 4D, a 12-month Class C retail alcohol license for the Muscatine County Fair for the amphitheater. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We will move to 5A, reports, and first up is our city engineer, Leo Foley.
So the first project I'll talk about is the Evans Ave Gravity Sewer Extension. The plans are complete for that. We were gonna have set the public hearing tonight, but we, I think I and the city manager have met with, Wheelie, and there's some negotiations going on over the easement and some pumping. But other than that, it seems like it's gonna be a go, so I'm pretty certain that the next meeting we'll have that set the thing. I looked at the schedule. We sent a draft schedule out with that in mind today, and that still puts us where we could be at April 1st council meeting to award the contract, and then still have it completed probably mid-June this year. So that all looks good. I think we're in great shape. We met with the whole staff, got comments, and trying to make sure we tighten that up as tight as we can. That's that one. The next one is the rate study. As Lee had mentioned, with the sewer rate study is complete. The water rate study, we had a few questions that have to do with some peculiarities with the water system. One of them we knew about as well too, but then there were some others in there that we didn't know about. So we're trying to adjust to make sure that all the things that are like shouldn't be happening every year, we take out so we can give you a good reading of what they should be. So we're real close on that. I'm hoping the next couple of meetings we can come and give you a presentation. And then, the final one is, of course, well two. We did have well two with some more, testing. They ran the new pump for about an hour. It seems to feed the booster pump well. It ran for about 40 minutes and then it continued to get low pressure and kicked out again. So I did get a hold of the Harn people that are very involved with this. They had asked us to do 2 or 3 different things and Austin did them. I gave them that information today. So we probably need another meeting with them to say, what are the next steps to go?
Okay.
And as I've told everybody, the last step of the whole process would be to re-acidize the well. And that would be the last one. And
To
that
read what?
acid. So what they do is they put acid down into these
Yeah.
Jordan wells. And it makes the fissures in the well, it cleans them out more or less, so water can flow easier. When we did it for well number 2, the acid went out and flowed to well number 3. And it didn't stay in well 2. Hindsight's 2020, we should have just shut well 3 off, but they thought that the acid had been in there long enough. And that was when the other operator was here and he was getting very high rates of pH. So his pH was zooming high, so we knew there was a problem. He was having to feed too much caustic. So we just shut it off. The well company thought that we'd be okay, but that would be the last option to do. And if we did it, we would shut that well off and not run that well at all until the acidization was done. This acid, by the way, is not an acid that is, it's made for drinking water. It might be pH high, we don't want it that way, but it's not like toxic or anything like that. So people hear that, they get nervous, but it's the first time I'd ever seen that or heard of that happening, and Northway told me the same thing. So just letting you know, that's the process. We're still in it. We're not gonna quit until we get it done here. And then, the last thing is, I will be talking about the Rainbow Project during the meeting. Any questions?
Thank you. Yeah, questions for our city engineer. Okay, hearing none, city manager has a report, a very extensive report in the packet. The city clerk has a report. And also we have the library report and the report from Father Guillermo about the funds that he's managing for the city. So do you want to add any more to the report that you've submitted to us? Okay, are there questions for the city manager regarding her report?
Quite detailed, thank you, as well as the clerks.
Yeah. And that was the next question. Any questions for the clerk with her report? Okay. All right, any questions for library director Par Smith? Her report is in the packet as well. And I'll say again, the detailed report.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to share, we were working with the library director and I know the library board's completed their strategic planning. And, so we asked to have her submit that report at the 1st of March. And on that agenda, we're gonna allow some time because we thought it would be really good for her to be able to go through that strategic plan with council. So this way, when we are doing our budget and we do strategic planning coming up in the fall, we can align the library along with the city with those strategic plans.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Father Guillermo's report. Well, I'm sorry, Councilmember Martinez.
Well, I guess for the clerk, how are you liking the version 10? I've seen you have a lot of comments in here about how.
I feel like we should ask you that in 2 years.
Well, she says she processed 1099s and W-2s for the first time. You think that was easier for you?
I think that it is going to be good once everything is transferred over. Right now, I'm working between 2 software systems, trying to get everything to blend together. And there's been a lot of hiccups in the road, so, like I tell them when they ask me how I like the product, I told them to ask me here in about a year, once I've had everything underneath one version and not two versions. I think it is gonna be good for the city once we can get everything over there. The software itself is very easy to process. It's more getting it fine tuned to what we need for the city of West Liberty.
Any other questions for the city clerk? Then, moving on, Father Guillermo's report, any, questions on that?
There was a typo.
There is a typo there? Oh, I missed that.
We will pick on Father G.
Okay. Well, I'm impressed with the work that our staff does on training, the education that they receive and the certifications that they obtain. And so we have a list to go through of what some of our staff have been doing. And so I think that's good to note. Catherine Esmol has completed the Advanced Emergency Medical Technician Certification. Emma Miller has completed the EMT technician training. I did this, by the way, about 50 years ago, and it is not easy training, or was not easy training then, and I can't imagine it has to have gotten harder since that time. Edgar Ortiz has completed grade 2 water treatment and grade 2 water distribution. Mac House has completed grade 1 water treatment and grade 1 water distribution and CEO. Craig Jurgens has completed grade 4 water treatment, wastewater treatment and grade 2 water treatment. Ken Riley has completed grade 1 water treatment. Jerry Cruz has completed grade 2 wastewater treatment and backflow prevention certification. Coben Holman has completed CPO. Adam Reinhardt has completed grade 2 water treatment, grade 2 water distribution, grade 1 wastewater treatment and CPO. And we also are recognizing Officer Jessica Sela for 3 years of service to the city. I think that deserves us to stand and give applause to our great employees.
Mayor, I would just like to recognize Kathleen Esmoil. She, on top of serving our community and our rural communities, plus she's on the Nichols Fire Department as well, and all of that. She completed the certification. I know she has great support from Brett Carlson and Sandy Hike and other team members. But if we want to take time, if we want to get pictures with you and
Oh, that'd be
and
great, yeah.
Kathleen and Brett and
The
her
whole
family.
council, yeah.
Yeah, or the
Let's
council.
do that. And city manager and city clerk.
Yeah, brush.
Come on, council.
Yeah, you did it.
Oh, it's very nice.
I can't yell at your
Mom, sir, Sarah. I gotta take a picture, I'm sorry. Ready to take it for you.
Come on, Cara, I know you're. a hard
Everybody
person.
get in close here. Why don't we do it like this? We've got all the. Here, you guys can come in front too, or.
I was gonna say.
I thought you were gonna try to hide behind it.
Here, come on, there you go. You're short, I promise. I'm sorry, how it works. Can you see me? Yep. All right, if you can't see the camera, we can't see you. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Because I have 2.
I just have one, I'm just taking a lot.
Yep, all right.
Good.
3, 2, 1. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
She's certified.
Oh.
It's for school. Certified school. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Yes, I'm glad you reminded me of the photos. All right, we are to 5C, committee meetings. And, I'm not aware of any Councilmember Parizek, and the other two people that were appointed, met on the fire department. We had our first meeting and we will have a second meeting on February 24th, and the agenda, just came out today for that meeting.
Are you guys having one meeting per month or is it 2 meetings? Per month?
All that has to be decided in the bylaws. But right now, we called a special meeting to continue the work that we're doing on the bylaws. Yeah, thanks for that question. And did I miss anything else that, I think it, has gone on, so, okay. 6A, vendor voucher claim list number 1 in the amount of $729,504.65. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the vendor list is approved. Next up is the library prepaid vendor voucher claim list in the amount of $9,255.18. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and we will move to item number 7, which is public comment and or correspondence. It is the time set aside for comments from the public on items of city business other than those in the agenda. So are there any public comments? Are there any public comments? Are there any public comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to city council public comments and or correspondence and start with council member Martinez.
So about a few weeks ago, I sent out a couple of texts, to Josh and to Lee about 5 things of improvement for this year on individuals and as myself, and I sort of text you and I'll eventually get to everybody, kind of hear everybody back. I kind of want to put a personal plan for myself to make more improvements this year and see how everybody wants to improve on themselves and how I can be a more of a team leader.
Excellent.
And is Nick on? I hope he's doing well. I know he had a little house fire over the weekend. Nick, our
Yeah,
IT.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
I
It's
spoke
pretty
with-
scary.
Yeah, I spoke with him today
I don't know
and
if he was on or not.
yeah,
Oh.
so fortunately he had his grandfather's, I know on Monday they had his grandfather's funeral. And then to turn around and have a house fire, so, but they're doing as well as they can do,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Let him know if he needs anything to.
I will make sure I pass on it, yep. Well wishes.
Yeah, thank you.
And Omar, I sent you an email.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, but I failed because I talked about the city and not myself.
Okay.
That's my life, it revolves
It's-
around, yeah,
It's part of the life. Yeah.
that's my passion.
Council
thank you.
member Shiltz.
I know,
Mr. Mayor, can I just follow up with something with Councilmember Shiltz? We had talked
Yes.
about parking last time. And so in the downtown parking, and I just wanted to give you a quick update because I didn't have it in, my city report, but the clerk and I talked today and working with the codifier to look at recommendations, and it's bringing me back to where I need to follow up with Leo, make notes on Spencer Street about diagonal parking. By increasing some more parking spaces possibly on Spencer and on Calhoun. Then we can, focus on, the more of the, dense business, block and not have overnight parking there, but making sure that we are providing additional parking, by a diagonal versus, that might help to cover some of those spaces so folks aren't parking in that. The next block over with Fred's and your business and, again, we'll just keep looking at that to see where we can provide space. So if we don't have people parking overnight there, where we can seek additional, spaces by diagonal parking if possible. So, but for right now, we would focus on more of the dense area versus, the section there in Fred's. I'm sorry, I can't think of all the numbers right off the top of my head. But the clerk is working with the codifier and we'll all work together. But I just wanted to give you a quick update that we are having conversations about that to keep it moving along. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem McFerren.
I have nothing.
Okay, Councilmember Parizek.
I have nothing.
Okay, so we'll move on to city manager
No, Mr. Mayor, I have nothing.
and we'll move on to the city clerk.
I didn't have anything at this time.
All right, thank you. We will then go to the items under point 8. First is 8A, resolution 2025-0218-217, a resolution to enter into an agreement between the city of West Liberty and, that's it, Geertz? Geertz, okay. Inspection and Consultation Services, LLC, for building inspections completed in the city of West Liberty. Is there a motion to approve? Motion to approve. Is there, and there's a second. Is there discussion?
So, Mr. Mayor and Council, in December 31st of 2024, Mr. Geertz retired from his full-time position with the city of Iowa City as the building inspector. During that time, then he needed to take a sabbatical in order to meet his IFRS requirement. And so we are, West Liberty, along with other smaller communities that he works with, are all looking to we're bringing Mr. Geertz back under as a contracted service. It is very difficult to afford a full-time building inspector for a city of our size, and same with the other cities. And so in this situation, this allows us to share. And then we continue to work with Mr. Geertz as he works with our city staff through some apprenticeship with Eddie Ortiz with the nuisance. And then we'll be looking at a staffing plan going forward as far as a full-time building inspector in addition to that. But we have some staffing review to do before we get there. But we continue to keep his expertise and his knowledge. And again, our community, our developers are very familiar with Mr. Geertz and have a good working relationship. So it is our recommendation that we would go forward with a contracted service.
Is there further discussion?
How long is the?
So we do an annual review of the service. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Is there additional discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
McFerren,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
I should have added to the wage is based on the wage that was already established in the budget. So there won't be a change. Outside of that, we won't be having the benefits of IPERS and health insurance. It'll be a direct wage. I apologize. I forgot to have that in there.
8B, resolution 2025-0218-218. A resolution approving the Fourth Street Water Valve / Main project in the city of West Liberty. First, is there a motion to approve?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to recommend, to go with the staff recommendation that the entire main be replaced.
One second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion?
No, I also agree, because it sounds like the best way to go. After reading through the options and stuff, you're just gonna be going back in there later on at a later date and trying to fix things that should have probably been taken care of in the first place. So,
It's gonna be done in segments, I see.
Question is this going to be done in segments?
No, it's to my understanding, it's all gonna be done in one, yeah.
One and done.
And it has been a problematic area for us, and I think we had our one
There's
break.
been three just in the Calhoun
Yeah.
Fourth Street intersection, and there's been two,
Mhm.
Fort McCoy intersection.
Time to resolve it.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
McFerren,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Parizek,
yes,
Martinez,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
And Austin and Adam did a nice job in getting all that information put together, so I appreciate that. And
8C, resolution 2025-0218-219, a resolution authorizing transfer from the cash reserve investment for building and grounds along with generator repairs in the city of West Liberty, Iowa. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve authorizing transfer from cash reserve investment for building and grounds along with generator repairs.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
So, Mr. Mayor and Council, we're at a point where we wouldn't, want to borrow funds, for these emergency fixes. We do have reserve for the electric fund, for these purposes. One, if you remember, when you toured the building, there's infiltration of water, that's needing to be addressed as soon as possible. And then in addition to that, if you remember, the Black Start is not operational, which is very important for us as part of our generation agreement. So this is the amount that we've identified. We also have a piece of equipment that's failing above the powerhouse. I'm trying to remember, Adam, what was the crane? There's a crane up there that should have been dismantled years ago that is dangerous. So, those are the three priorities for us to take emergency, to handle these things. In the future, that's what the HMG is working on with our, generation study and our, facility as well, is to identify a reimbursement back of these funds through bonding, or the other option is that we'll identify revenue over expenditure and have a plan to replace the reserves that we're using now with the additional revenue at the end of the fiscal year back to an investment.
Are there additional questions or comments? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Martinez,
Yes.
McFerren,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Parizek,
yes,
motion passes 4-0.
8E, resolution, I'm sorry. 8D, resolution 2025-0218-220, a resolution approving the FY 23-24 audit report and filing. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Parizek,
Yes.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
McFerren,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
Next is item FE or 8E, resolution 2025-0218-221, a resolution to approve, pay estimate number 16 for All American Concrete Incorporated for the Rainbow Maxon Street Improvement Project for retainage and project closeout in the city of West Liberty. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the pay estimate number 16.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there discussion?
So this is the final quantities. We did have to add a little bit of quantity for seed and for excavation of the ditch that was done in the very end to get, it's off the project limits, but it was to get the water so it didn't pool. So that was done, that was added, and then the rest is just retainage. So at this point, the bond would, the performance bond would start, a 2-year bond. So I recommend approval. I would say too that, I know it was a difficult project. We added the Columbus Street sidewalk, which extended the time quite a bit. The bid price on that was 1.4, about 1.45. It came in at 1.47. So that's about 1.7% over the bid price. So that's as far as pricing goes, the project came in very well. I wish the schedule would have been a little quicker. We had some right-of-way issues.
Is there further discussion? Hearing none, the clerk will call the roll.
Shiltz,
Yes.
Martinez,
Yes.
McFerren,
Yes.
Parizek,
Yes.
motion passes 4-0.
Okay, next up is item 8F, set the date for public hearing for the 80-20 annexation on March 18th, 2025 at 6:30 PM. Is there a motion to approve? Oh, this is a
By
consent. Are we all okay with doing that during the second March council meeting?
I unfortunately won't be here, but.
That's because they're form, yeah.
Yeah. So if we have a quorum for the meeting that night, we're good to go. Okay, item F8G, set the date for the budget work session on March 18th. And by the way, I gave the wrong information. I thought we had to have things in by March 15th at the prior meeting, so I need to correct that. But work session on March 18th at 5:30 PM. Are we good with doing it?
Would hold if I have to add anything to the
Okay.
budget, so, yeah. Sorry.
Same thing, I would assume for the mayor pro tem may or may not be here.
Unfortunately,
Hopefully we'll have a quorum.
I'll be out of town, so I will not.
Okay. All right, last up is setting the council committees for 2025. Public safety, I've named Councilmember Parizek and Councilmember Martinez. For buildings and ground, Mayor Pro Tem McFerren and Councilmember Martinez. For finance and ordinances, Councilmember Dominguez and Mayor Pro Tem McFerren. For streets, alley and sidewalk, Councilmember Parizek and Councilmember Dominguez. Utilities Committee is Councilmember McFerren, or excuse me, Mayor Pro Tem McFerren and Councilmember Shiltz. And then the employment policy and grievance. We want to keep some flexibility on people going on that committee based on what the grievance is, so that if a grievance is made against a member of the council, they aren't on the committee that's hearing the grievance. For the NJCC and EMS committee, Councilmember Parizek will be representing us there. For the Muscatine Radio Users Group, the Chief of Police, Josh Hauser will be on that committee. And for the Muscatine County Conference Board, I'll serve in on that. Parks and Recreation Board will be Councilmember Martinez. On the Wheelie Bit Board, it will be city manager, the city manager and me at the present time serving on that. And on the Chamber Board, it will be Brittany Wilson serving there. And Councilmember Shiltz will serve on the Library Board. So,
And Mayor and Council, I just wanted, we went out to the ordinance, and so the reason why this may look different from the previous is that we identified what our ordinance communicates as far as committees. And so we established those specifically in line with the ordinance, which I apologize if I was gonna give you a copy of that. But I can send that to Mayor and Council. It's chapter one, section 6 of our ordinance. And then in addition to that, then we identified special committees, because in an ordinance, you can establish special committees. And so I identified all the rest of these as special committees under that. The clerk and I'll work with the codifier and with mayor and council as a whole, when you identify if we want to title these differently or how we want to put the standing committees, then we'll look to set the ordinance based on that at that time. So I think the last time the ordinance was done was 1975. So yeah.
oh, that's 50 years goes in a hurry. Okay. All right, last item is item 9. Is there a motion to adjourn? Motion adjourned. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. We are adjourned.